Hey guys, welcome back. Here we are on our second episode of Let's Play Train Fever. It's a bit of a beginner's guide, but hopefully you guys are finding it a little bit more than just a very basic beginner's guide, because we are going to have a lot of fun with this eventually. Not that we're not having fun now. Holy smokes, what am I even saying here? Oh my goodness. Okay, so when we last left off, we had just kind of finished off this first town here, Ontario. And kind of see we got our train station ready. And our bus network, tram network, pretty much ready to go. We've got our vehicles purchased, and we're still on pause. We're going to connect a few more cities first, and then get our truck line going, and then we can hit play. So just to keep things a little bit varied, maybe we can go right for the truck line. So you guys may not know this, but you can actually scroll the whole way down here and get some more get some more road options. And you can kind of see they've got a speed limit associated with them, right? So 2-lane, small one's a 40, this one's a 60, that one's an 80. So they're very expensive, right, to go bigger, obviously. So we'll be making a bit of a longer distance one here. So in terms of money, I'm going to keep this one just a medium. And I can, if I want, draw this all in one go. I don't necessarily recommend doing that, simply because I'm going to connecting that to the right spot. Simply because it's going to do a lot of terraforming to try and make this as straight as possible. And you can kind of see that's 319. That's a little bit too expensive. I imagine we could probably shave off about 40 or 50,000 if we were just to go like that. And then this will just kind of follow the topography a little bit more. So we had $1 million on the dot. I think, what does that say, 380 some odd? And you can kind of see how much less we spent, right? Like easily we did not spend 300,000 there, right? That was under 100,000. So my initial estimate was even lower. And that's just, you know, because we didn't terraform the whole way, and terraforming is extraordinarily expensive. So that works for me. And the goal of this was just to basically get truck access from here over to here. And then at these 2 points, what we're going to do is create a truck little station right here. So we'll put that just right at the end of the line, just right there. That's perfect. I tend to like to use the big ones, just, you know, hold more volume. Why not, right? Put that one right here. And then, again, look at the land use. We're going to kind of see where like our industrial areas are. So they're kind of over in this quadrant. So it would make sense to route truck traffic in and away from the residents, right? Okay, so why don't we, again, give the city a little bit of a bump. In this instance, see how it's a little bit too... I can't fit because of the house. Switch to a smaller road. And then here's something sneaky. Just upgrade it right afterwards. How about that? Crazy. Okay, and then like this, we're gonna go over to here. Oh gosh, terrible. And then just bring this in right like that. Perfect. And then ideally, we can just put that right here. And so that'll be close to the factory area. So we don't have to worry about making too much traffic for our residents. And the best part is we're kind of bypassing all the buses and stuff, so we don't have to worry about our in-town traffic being, or in-town transit network being slowed down by that. Okay. So very simple route here. So stop number 1, our goal is to go from here, and we want to make sure that we're bringing full loads, and we're going over here. Boom, bada bing, bada boom, just back and forth, super simple. Next one, we're going from here, and same speech, full load, please. You can make it specific if you want. Oh, interesting. Maybe you can't make it specific. Anyways, we'll wait for a full load, and then we're going to go into our, that one there. Perfect. So that is that. So we'll collapse these windows. We're going to go to the nearest town, over to our road depot, buy some vehicles, and get a wagon. We're going to change the capacity over to wood, and this will be going from the forestry area over to our production facility. So I think 4 trucks might be enough. They are horse-drawn, so they're not too fast. And again, these kind of things you can always change. All right, over to goods. I don't feel, you know, nothing's set in stone, right? You can always sell vehicles, add more. Okay, so that should hopefully be enough. All right, so we'll check on the progress of that once the, you know, the time is, clock is ticking type thing. But there we go. Basic trucking network. I love it. Okay. So let's go over to Oxnard now. And since we know what we're doing, let's just do a, oops, my goodness. Let's just do a really basic copy of what we just did over in Ontario. Okay. Now, something interesting, right? What I'm going to do is back this up, because what I'm doing is I'm using the small road as our little trick right here. But when I go to upgrade the roads that have bridges, it sometimes won't make the bridge a little bit wider. It'll just make the lanes a little bit wider. It's kind of complicated to explain, but I think that'll make sense as time goes on. And I may have a collision here, so I may actually have to use... Nope. Okay, so instances like this, all you got to do, unfortunately, is just restarts. And so we know that's the problem area. We'll pack that up a little bit. Hopefully keep that straight. And then we'll switch to a medium. Perfect. And then we'll just upgrade this now. Great. Mission accomplished. Okay, so back to our building. And before we do this, let us go like this. Okay, a troublemaker it looks like. Now, I'm not looking to spend horrific amounts of money. Oh my gosh, there's no way I can't. Like I can't justify that. It's crazy. Too much money. Unfortunate though, because I really wanted to do that. Even that's too much money. It's like I usually won't demolish a structure until we're making like, you know, lots and lots of cash. They cost that much, right? We can be, I want to say creative, but we can try and find a different way to get through. Right, so we can go like this. Then maybe we can get lucky with something like that, right? But because I would like to have more than just the one bridge crossing right there, even if it does look a little bit not silly, but you know, just something like this, right? Okay, so why don't we try to creatively? Again, I know this looks a little bit silly, but I am just trying to get a little bridge, right? And in the long run, this is much cheaper than destroying a house, right? Even though it does seem a little bit silly. And I do agree with you, it is a little bit odd, but unfortunately, c'est la vie. This is when you had to put your skills as a city planner to work, right? You gotta make something that looks kind of both visually appealing and functional as well. And I think we're actually making good progress here. Okay, almost got what I was after. So let's just back this up slightly. Honestly, and these little details, like, you know, if this is not your cup of tea, don't feel like you have to go into like this much little, you know? I'm just a little bit of an odd job when it comes to this stuff. There we go. So like for me, that looks a little bit nicer, I think, than just the way it was before. And again, if you don't really mind the way it looks, like, don't feel like you have to spend all this extra time, totally no problem. And then we're just going for a general shape like that. Perfect. And I'm going to test to see if there's enough room to, there is, perfect. And then all I'm going to do is just kind of close off this part now. And again, we're not going to do too much in the grand scheme, because that does eventually add up, even though it is a lot of fun doing city building. Oops. And so I have a feeling we're going to need... Yeah, there's not even enough space. Okay, so what we'll do is just come out on an angle. Perfect. And then that can go like that. That's great. Okay. Now, again, I don't want to spend too much money, but I do want to have a little bit more options for bringing vehicles out just initially. So let's go a little bit more like this. And I can already see where this one's going. Perfect. There we go. That's nice, right? And again, we're getting carried away, but I can't help myself. Okay, now in a perfect world we would go like this and then connect these. So 127. What? Oh my gosh, no way. Absolutely not. Definitely not. Holy smokes, I can't even believe it. How much did that cost? Okay, king of overreactions here. It's expensive, get over it. Alright. And our last river crossing. And again, it's so much easier to do this stuff now when the city is like, you know, not even here, versus trying to do all this and then delete things, you know? So it might feel a little bit overkill, all these roads for, you know, no one, but it's one of those situations, like, if you build it, they will come. And we can probably just leave that like that. And then generally speaking, the people, they will come and build the train stations, right? So why don't we just go like this? Trying to get the rails to kind of point in a good direction coming out. There. Oh, and you know what? I probably didn't actually have to do a 4-track station there, because I could have zoomed out and realized that the end of the line was right here. So what we can do is maybe bring some trains down here, and we can make like our train garage down there, or at least one of them or something. Okay, so let's connect these two cities together. Okay, so just pretty simple. Go like that, like this, and then same kind of idea with the signals. We'll just do the same as we did last time. That's perfect. Sorry for the background noise there, guys. My roommates are just going in and out. Okay, just going like that. And then from here, I'm just going to now connect to the 2 bottom lines over here. Kind of, you know, my idea from before, keeping it simple, you know. And when we run out of money, luckily we'll have a little bit of loans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave us a bit of a buffer. I'm actually going to borrow quite a bit right now, though. So I'm going to leave about, say, 2.5 million behind. So I'll borrow up to 7.5. And then that way we have enough money to still take out a little bit more and buy our trains. And so I'm going to curve this slightly so I can kind of come at this road at a better angle, just so I can fit the other rail through. So let's get this in, go to the bottom. Because you can see it's very expensive to build a train network, and most of that money was spent right there on that little bit of terraforming. Not the end of the world, but I probably should have done a bit of a better route there, but what's done is done. Great, we have enough room for that. Perfect. If I can get that to connect, we'll just double check. Yeah, great. Okay. And we'll probably bring it over to Wichita as well, but I think the first thing we can do before we bring our next train over is just get the lines going over here. So let's do that a little bit quickly, since we already know what we're after. If I can find what I'm after. Oh, of course, they're over here. Silly me. Okay, so stops for here. Stops for down here. And again, this is just for the future, you know, because there's no one living there yet, but there will be eventually. Okay. Same with over there. People will definitely be living there. And I'll probably follow the same style that we used last time, like a mix of the two routes. Or I can just do, you know, like really anything. Both the same type, like, you know, both a loop or both, I wish this connected. Crazy roads, oh well, that'll haunt me forever. So if we want, we can do both sides. I mean, that might be a little bit preemptive, but nothing's stopping us. Okay, oh, and you know what we should do? Let's connect these guys. And for those of you keeping track at home, we still have not put in the tram tracks. Totally no problem. We'll just put in the stops first. Like, we already know where we want to go. But for those of you who are just about to type, hey man, you forgot that, I appreciate you guys looking out. Okay. So tram tracks, medium road. And again, just one big one for the outskirts. That should be fine. Remember, the cities, they do grow substantially. So what is now the outskirts will not be the outskirts for long. And you know what we could do? Just come in town like this. And go back outwards like that. Okay, that works for me. Alright. And now, same old story. Just kind of make ourselves some lines right here. So I'll just kind of shoot through these very quickly. You guys can just kind of follow along as I go. So I'm just be doing our tram line right here. I'm just kind of visually trying to follow where the rails are going. And you don't even have to do a tram. Like, you can just do buses. You don't even have to do buses. You can just do the train stations. So in case you guys are wondering why I'm going through all of this effort and I'm spending all of my money, it's like, no matter what you really do, you are probably going to be running a negative budget in the beginning. So I figured, why not just swing for the fences, you know? Pull out all the loans you can, but give yourself the best kind of starting base possible. And then this way you'll be making heaping huge amounts of money. So within no time you can start doing your massive infrastructure projects and these huge works of, like, you know, giant like crossovers and just a whole bunch of fun stuff. And then you won't really have to stress about running out of money every 2 seconds. And then as the game goes on and you're making like oodles of money, hopefully, knock on wood, then we can have a few lines that maybe aren't overly profitable, but they're just like cosmetically just really nice to look at. Some, like, you know, mountain passes, or just like bullet trains that, you know, don't really like, you know, serve like 10 people type thing, but they're just really cool. So we'll kind of see how that goes as time goes on, but we'll have a lot of fun. So again, delete if you want to collapse your windows if you feel like it's getting a little bit too hectic. And then what I'm going for now are just the bus lines. And then don't feel like you have to do every stop. I mean, again, the city is always in a state of flux, right? So we'll be adding, just, you know, taking stuff away. The one thing I do like to have, though, is a little bit of overlap in between the bus stops and everything. So that way people can kind of transfer and stuff, you know? Okay. Perfect. No, same idea, right? If you want to move the helping hand, we'll keep that last one open and we can kind of count down the stops. We're going to 14, heading over to 14. And then 13, and then 12. Because it does get a little bit, you know, hectic, right? Especially when the colors start to, you know, all overlap and they all look alike. Oopsies. So in this case, when we click too much, just, you know, delete that. No need to panic. Okay. Oops, I almost did the wrong direction there. Confusing myself. Perfect, we're getting there. I know you guys are probably like, is this not train fever? Where are the trains? But we're getting there, guys, I promise you. Okay, now could the city benefit from one that kind of loops on itself? Probably, so let's just go ahead and do that too. And this one, I think we'll take an entirely different direction, just so we can kind of get the most amount of coverage going. And I think what we'll do is just go like this. A little bit overkill, but the city will grow very quickly. Oh, interesting, we missed this one. That's okay. Oh, and I missed that one too. Oh, interesting. Well, I guess some of these are, I want to consider them like an express line. They don't have to have that much overlap. My goodness, can't believe I'm missing all this stuff here. Okay. And just go like this, and that just boom, closes that off. Okay. Let's buy some vehicles. So same idea, let's just put these kind of close to the train station. That way we don't have to worry about having to dig around to find them. Okay, so tram station might work if it had tram tracks going to it. Call me crazy. Okay. Yeah, that works for me. Alright, so let's get some vehicles here. 1, 2, 3. Usually like 3 or 4 is like totally enough, you know? Okay, what numbers was that? That would be 9, 10, 11, and 12, I believe. Oh, actually, let's open this and let's see what the first one was for this town. It doesn't have any. Okay, so it looks like 8 and 9 were the ones we used for our trams, and then 10, 11, and 12 were the buses. Okay, so this one will go to number 10, please. And 1, 2, 3. Number 11. It's crazy, we just did this and I've already lost track of it, you know? Okay. And 1, 2, 3 of these. That's 8, and then put that on line 9. Perfect. I swear we're getting there, guys. Don't worry, trains will be coming soon. Okay, now I said I wanted to put a train garage over here. And what we could do is, so check this out. So we'll go like this. Go like that. This, however, has the option now to go over to Wilmington. Yep. But I would still like to be able to use this area here for going to the garage, right? So we'll put this in. Again, redundant, but we can put it in. Pull people here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this go like this. And so that means anyone coming inbound, I want them to stop before here, just so anyone switching can finish, you know? And then we're going to have a signal here to pull people over to here. And then we'll figure out that switching in a second. And again, it's redundant, but you can put another signal here if you want, just for visual. And this should be wired correctly to let people go through. So that way you can go this way, straight, and then go that way. And then my goal with this, and I'll do the outside of town just so we have a little bit of room for it. As you'll kind of see, these just kind of go all into this. And then just at the end down here, we can do one of these guys. Cool. And then that way you can see just, you know, this one garage can serve both our lines kind of coming out, right? Okay, so we'll need to put some signals in here so everyone can be polite and wait their turn. So anyone coming out and using this. Okay, so I want someone to stop here, go that way. So that'd be and then I know it's a very long wait, but I guess we can make the person wait back here theoretically. Because that signal would be that one, right? Yeah, because I don't want people to be coming this way. And then when someone's trying to leave and go that way, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a longer wait, but we'll make them kind of wait at that interchange. Okay. And then we'll just kind of link this as well. This might seem redundant, but we now have the option later to kind of, you know, if we need to, break this off and then go somewhere else. Plus, you know, all these interchanges look kind of cool, right? So, okay, so that's that. And now we've got two cities. We've got a starting garage. We've got 2 cities in terms of trains now connected, and a working bus line and tram line. We've got a truck network starting as well. So let's very, very, very quickly connect these guys here. And at this point, if you've either, like, you know, not really run out of money, or if you're very low on money and you can't really complete this, you can probably press play at this point if you want to. I'm going a little bit overkill. I just like to do a little bit more just to get us started. That's all. Well, I want to say, like, to each their own, but whatever you feel comfortable doing. So same idea we did before. We'll just use a smaller road, upgrade it, and I've unfortunately used my tram tracks. We'll put those all in afterwards. Okay, now this city has got a little bit of an odd sprawl to it, and these are very expensive, so I won't be destroying that. Okay, so what we can do for Wichita is we'll do a very, very, very minimal line in here. And that way we don't have to spend too much time doing this, you know? Okay, now I'm going to upgrade this road a little bit further, simply because once you draw train tracks through a road, you cannot upgrade it. Okay, so we are going to be going past Wichita, so by no means is this the end of the line. So what we can do is put our station like this, and this is going to be a little bit of a test here of our patience and skill. See if we can get everything kind of working at optimal speed through this little quadrant. Okay. Already running into problems, I see. Alright, so what we can do is make a bypass for this. Oops. And I believe that'll cure our problems. But you can kind of see, right? There's no, you can't delete roads unless you make the bypass first. So if you don't like what you've made, you're unfortunately a little bit stuck with it. And so for us to make that look a little bit more attractive, we can go like this, right? And just let the city kind of take over in terms of building. And what I'm going to do with these rails, oh, that's perfect. Is I'm just going to get these essentially established within the city. So you don't have to worry about... Oh. There we go. And it was telling me it was colliding because it was trying to level the height off there. There we go. And so you can kind of see what I'm doing, just pointing these just outward, right? So this one can break off and go to Grand Prairie if we need to, and this one can break off to Akron. Okay, so let's just give that a little bit more room. And you'll kind of see what I mean about like the city kind of expanding and getting in the way of this, you know? Okay, so just our simple switches. Always going for the highest speed possible. Okay. And so what I do is I put my stops on the opposite sides of roads. So that way you're not blocking road traffic, right? So you have a little bit more to wait to get into this station, but I'd rather you wait over here than, you know, say wait right here and then have your butt sticking out and blocking the road. Especially if that becomes a big road. Okay, now I'm not going to go over the road on this side. And this we can go to McKinney with, and then over to Winston-Salem. Cool. Okay. So again, these are just placeholders. They're just here, you know, so we can actually start over here. And I'm going to go as close as I can, but I'm leaving enough room because I will eventually upgrade these roads eventually. I think I said eventually twice there, but you know what I mean. I would like to make these roads higher speed eventually. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, now can we go? This will be the fun part. Okay, I'm always going for the highest speed possible, and 112 isn't the worst. This might change though. What I've just created, if I can't get the sister road to go right next to it, because sometimes the curve doesn't support it, right? It does, and it gave us a little bit more of a bump in terms of speed. So that's perfect. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, is we are just kind of running out of time for this episode again, so I'll just kind of call it right here. And if you want to stop on by for episode 3, we'll finally get some trains rolling, which is the name of the game, right? Train Fever. So yeah, if you're enjoying it, hit the like button, subscribe if you already haven't, and I will see you guys in the next one. And what we'll do is just kind of finish this little line, get these going, put some actual train lines in, and then get some trains rolling on this tracks finally. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one, and as always, have yourselves a great time.